How's it, guys? Welcome back to the stream. And in today's session, I'll be going over the most important things to look out for within today and obviously what's been happening in the past week. So let's just get straight to it. So first off, I'm gonna go over
How's it, guys?
um
Welcome back.
I'm gonna go over all the
How's
charts
it,
that you
guys?
need to go over.
Welcome back to the stream.
And
And
in
in
today's
today's
session,
session,
I'll
I'll
be
be
going
going over
over
them.
let's just get straight into it. So when looking at Bitcoin, okay. So we're looking at the chart here. This is the chart I've been looking at for the last couple of weeks, and you can see that we've just been retesting this line multiple times over. So when drawing your chart here, you take it from all these support levels, and over here you can see that we've touched that level again. So this is on the weekly chart, so obviously on a higher time frame. And the reason why the title is like that is because last week we actually had all these longs over here. You can see that by this massive wick here, it got liquidated. So obviously there was a lot of longs in the market, and you can see with this wick, the sellers managed to take over the market. So this week has been showing a bit more bullish pressure, but when going on smaller time frames, I'll show you guys where I'll be looking at. But these are the key levels that you have to watch out for. So you can see this zone here is our recent low at the 15,500 zone. And then obviously if we break that zone, we are definitely coming down to that 12,000 level. So it can get much worse. And also with all the news I'm going to cover, I'll show you why it can also get worse. So yeah, there's a lot more to go through. And yeah, so this is on the higher time frame for Bitcoin. We did have that bullish divergence that played out. If you see the RSI here, we are making higher lows, and then on the chart making lower lows. So you can see there, and it did play out. So we just need to see what else we can get out of this short-term push up, but we'll just have to wait and see. So when looking at, I want to go to the Bitcoin dominance chart quickly. So a lot of altcoins, like Matic, Ethereum, Cardano, XRP, Chainlink, all of these coins are actually starting to come back down to their support levels, which is very crucial, as a lot of people are trying to buy these coins at these low prices, but it seems as though that it can go down further, and I'll be going over those charts as well. And this is also because of the Bitcoin dominance chart, right? So this shows you that the dominance of Bitcoin is gaining more percentage. So you can see in the last 4 weeks, we've just been having this massive push up to the upside for the Bitcoin dominance chart. So all the other altcoins are losing dominance, which basically makes them more acceptable to dump more than what they should, due to this just gaining strength. And if this breaks this resistance line over here, where it's currently trying to break, then it can come up further, and then obviously the altcoins can lose a lot more strength. So the altcoin, if you're investing in altcoins at the moment, just watch what coins you're going to be investing in, because it can get a lot worse if this carries on to pump, because it's looking very strong on the weekly charts, and if it comes back up to these type of levels, then it can be in big trouble. So definitely want to watch out here. You need to watch this chart, as it can get a lot worse for the altcoins. And then I want to go over the dollar. So looking at the dollar index, so this is actually losing a lot of strength. So this is technically good for Bitcoin. You can see we have this small support over here at this line. So if it breaks this zone here, then there might be a little push up before a push down on the crypto markets, but we'll have to wait and see, as there's a lot of things going on in the world, which I'll be going over when I get to the news. But the dollar is looking a bit weaker, which shows some signs of strength in the market. So we have to look at that. And you can see that it's been in this downtrend when looking on the daily as well. You can see that we've been trading in this downtrend for a while now. So we had this push up over here, and we pushed down, broke down, and you can just see we've been continuously making these lower highs and lower lows. So if we make a lower low back to this 101, we might get a rally from the crypto markets, and then this will start to turn up a bit again. So we'll just have to wait and see what the dollar does. If it loses this level, then we might get a little bit of a rally. But on the higher time frame, for Bitcoin and all the altcoins, it's looking very, very dark. So I also wanted to look at the S&P 500, right? So this is very important to look at because basically Bitcoin and all the crypto coins follow this in a way that, and how the structure of this, they basically are directly proportional to each other, crypto and the S&P 500, whereas the dollar is inversely proportional. So you can see that it's been in this channel for a long time and it's been in this downtrend. So you can see that it's been making lower highs and lower lows, right? And then over here we made a lower low and we actually broke this trend line. So because we broke this trend line over here, this shows that the S&P 500 is losing strength, and also the stock market. I mean, if you look at Tesla's at its lowest price it's pretty much at its lowest price it's ever been. So there's a lot of stocks and bonds and all of that are at really low prices, and so is crypto. So I mean, this year has just been very terrible, and you can see that, you know, it's lost this whole support line over here. So we just need to make sure that you know, if you dollar cost averaging, you waiting for those lower prices, right? Because you can get those lower prices. So we just need to wait until the absolute bottom, which we don't know, but I mean, I still think that this can come down back to this zone, and then obviously crypto, Bitcoin over here are expected to come down to this 12,000 zone. So we just need to watch out, but I'll go onto smaller time frames to show you what I'm looking at as well. So for the Bitcoin chart, if you look at the 4-hour chart, you can see over here that we're at an important level right now, right? So when looking at this, we have our major resistance at the top here. So this zone over here is our major resistance, and then at the bottom we have our major support. So when looking at this, you can see it's been kind of just trading in this range, right? It's been trading in this range. So once we lose one of these levels, then there will be a massive rally. And also, if you want to look at the Bollinger Bands, so this is on the daily. So when looking at the Bollinger Bands, when they tight like this, it shows that there might be a big move coming. So you can see the last time they were tight like this was over here, and we got that push up, and then actually got that massive dump. So there's a massive squeeze over here that's happening, and normally this implicates that we might get a push up to the upside or the downside. So we need to watch out for that, because you can see that is squeezing quite hard at the moment. And then on the daily charts, you can see that we are currently, the MACD did turn bearish, and then we got that bullish daily candle yesterday. So that obviously implicates that, you know, we might get a little push up before push down. But when looking at smaller time frames over here on the 4-hour, this 0.5 fib level, okay, so this level here is, so this zone actually, this zone over here is called the golden pocket ratio. So whenever price comes into this zone, you normally see some type of retracement or you know, some type of movement. So this zone is something to look at, and what I expect is, you know, if we break the zone to the upside, if we break it here, then we can see a bit of a move up. But if we don't break the zone, like you can see how many times we've rejected the zone at this level, then we can come down and form these new lows. Because looking at this now, I mean, we are forming lower lows. So you can see here we had a low over here, formed a new low here, and then another low here. So I mean, we are in this semi downtrend, which we need to watch out for. And yeah, so Bitcoin on the smaller time frames isn't looking too good, or on the higher / smaller time frames like the 4-hour and the daily. But we just need to make sure that if we're breaking certain levels, so we have to break this level at the top here in order for us to look for longs to the upside. And it has to break this zone over here, the 16,600 zone, in order to look for shorts back down to this area. Our major support at 15,600. So yeah, that's what I'm currently looking at for Bitcoin, and just needs to break out of this small little pockets. And you can see we've just had a lot of consolidating over here, which obviously, you know, implicates that the more it consolidates, the bigger the move is. And then looking at Ethereum, so I just want to go over this. So Ethereum's also been trading in this. It looks very similar to Bitcoin. Also looking at the Bollinger Bands, also tightening a bit, starting to squeeze a bit. So there is a move that might be happening within a couple days or so. You can see that the tighter the Bollinger Bands are together, you know, we get that push up or that push down. So we'll have to wait and see. But on the higher time frame, we did get this push up. Now it's at this crucial level of resistance over here. So we need to wait and see what's happening over here. If we break this level here with a 4-hour or a daily closure, then we can expect price to come back up to these zones, back to the 13,010. That would be an ideal zone for it to come up to. But if it gets rejected off this zone, then we can see it coming back down to 1160 and even further down to that 1090 area. So this level that it's currently trying to retest is definitely a level that we need to watch out for. So Ethereum's also, you know, we had this trend line over here, well, this, you know, we're forming these higher highs and these higher lows over here, forming these higher highs and higher lows. And then actually we broke this over here the other day, and we're starting to form new lows. So if, you know, what I expect to happen, we might get a push down from here and then a further movement down, because we did actually break structure over here to the downside, and it's currently just retesting a zone where people are actually trying to sell it. So we'll just have to wait and see for that. So Ethereum is looking good for sells, but we need to see if it breaks this level. If it doesn't break this level, then there could be a rejection down. Yeah, and then I wanted to look at the USDT dominance. So this is obviously not good. What's been happening over here, you can see that in my last live, I was looking at this where, you know, I think we're over here. I said if we retrace back down to this zone, then, you know, it'd be looking good for Bitcoin and the altcoins. But at the moment, it's not looking good, because basically when this goes up, when this increases, you know, we get a decrease from the crypto market. So at the moment, nothing good is happening here. I mean, the dominance is increasing. We did get a bearish engulfing candle on the daily, so we might get a little bit of retracement. So there might be some type of movements soon for crypto, maybe a pump up before it goes down. But I mean, it is looking bearish because of this zone. I mean, for Bitcoin to get a massive rally, we need to break down the zone here and look for the dominance to start decreasing to around these areas, because it's very high at the moment, and that's obviously not a good thing. If it breaks these highs at the top here, then this will not be a good for the crypto market. So need to watch out for this zone over here, because if this gets broken, then there might be a massive move to the downside for the coins. And then I wanted to go over a few coins here before I get into the news. So Matic, in the last lab, I was speaking about this really important zone that we're at. Okay, so when looking at this zone, see how many times prices come down to this level over here in respect to these zones. So every time it comes into the zone, it normally reacts, right? So we're getting a reaction at the moment, but we had a massive bearish volume over here, even down here, and you can see that these were all wicks that were closing into the zone, and at the moment we're getting some candle closures in the zone, which implicates that liquidity is starting to fill up here, and we might get a push down to the downside. So if Matic loses this zone, then it can definitely come back down to, you know, levels such as 0.6. this is a very good resistance and a support zone. And even, well, first off, it would probably come back down to the zone and retest these areas over here. But it's not looking good for Matic, because we didn't get a nice closure on the daily. It was bullish, but you know, it's still not as good as you would like for the bullish market. So we'll definitely need to wait and see what we can get out of this. But if it closes below here, then I'll be definitely looking for shorts to the downside for Matic. Yeah, so it has to close below the zone. So Matic's looking very, very low because it was at a very high level at 1.28 just over a month ago, and it's been losing a lot of strength. And that's also because of the, you know, obviously the Bitcoin dominance, because this has been rising so much, and that obviously puts so much pressure on the altcoins, and they actually lose momentum. So that is a problem for Matic. And then Cardano, I wanted to go over this chart. So Cardano is looking very, very, very bad. You can see that, you know, we had this, if you're looking on the 1 hour chart here, we had this, you know, this little bear flag, if you want to call it, have a little bear flag over here, and then we actually broke down. So normally with a bear flag, you take the pole over here, and then that would be the distance, and that's literally what happened. So the target was reached over here, and Matic did actually get this breakout. So we got this breakout to the downside. Over here, I'd lost this key level of support that has been founding over the last couple days, and then we lost that, and now we retested that support zone and actually made a new low. So we are currently in this downtrend for Matic, which is not looking good, and Matic looks very bearish, to be honest. So if you're holding Matic, because if you're looking at a higher time frame here, Matic is, I mean, this is Cardano, sorry. Yeah, Cardano, if it loses this level here, I mean, it can come as low as this zone here. Back to around about these areas, which is a lot. That's almost, let's see, it's around about 35%. So we have to keep an eye on this Bitcoin dominance chart, because this is obviously what's forcing all the coins to come down. And if it breaks this level here, then all the altcoins are definitely in trouble. So I mean, yeah, we just need to keep an eye on that. And then looking at XRP. So XRP, I was talking about this in the last live. I had this trade happening over here. I said if we lose this level, we were looking for shorts. Then we lost it, and TP was round about here. It hasn't got hit, but it almost did. And we actually did touch into the zone at the bottom, the support zone over here. So, you know, at the moment, everything is looking very, very dark because of the fact that all these coins are at their support zones that they haven't been at for the last couple weeks. And, you know, they're getting retested. So if all these coins lose these support zones, then they definitely can come down further. So definitely need to keep an eye on these coins, and you know, if they lose these zones, then shorts, we'll be looking for shorts, as you know, they have massive potential to go down further. So looking on the daily over here, you know, there are levels that XRP can come down to. So this is obviously, you know, it's not as weak as Cardano or Matic, but you know, when looking at this chart here, we can see that it can come down to around 0.31, which is not too bad. 7%, which is still quite big. And then if it loses that level, it can come back down to around these zones, and then, you know, further down. So at the moment, XRP isn't looking good. It's starting off very, we had a nice bullish candle closure, and then obviously now we're losing some steam. So just need to keep an eye on that. But yeah, this trade would have worked out very well. It was around about, if I took profit, it was around about 12%, which is very decent, especially when you're trading on leverage. And then also looking at Link, Chainlink. So I was talking about these two trades in the last live as well. So I was waiting for confirmations. So I said that if price comes down to this level here, then I'll be taking longs back up to around about these zones. So around about 17.17 percent increase. But obviously it's only up around about from the entry, it's up around about 5%. And then you can take profits at the mid range. But if it comes back up to this zone, I'm definitely going to be shorting because this zone is typically a selling zone. You can see a lot of selling pressure happening at that area. And this trade over here definitely was a valid trade. You can see the support at these areas. You can see how many times prices jumped and bounced off this zone. So we had a bounce over here, over here, over here, and then we're looking here, we had a bounce here, and then also here. So the probability of us getting a bounce before us, pushing through this level is higher than us getting a straight push down. So that's what I was looking at. I mean, it is still looking good. We might get that push up to that mid range. So obviously, short term, we might be a bit bullish within the intraday, but the next couple of weeks are looking a bit scary because with December, there's a lot of volume there's less volume on exchanges. A lot of people don't trade during December because of holiday season, and that obviously puts pressure on the market, and it just decreases the output and the price levels that they can possibly be at. So December is known for more of a bearish month for crypto, but I mean, doesn't have to be. And then also Dogecoin. What I was looking at here for Dogecoin. So obviously with Elon, it was over here. So he was speaking about should I step down as a head of Twitter, which I think was yesterday. And he said I would buy by the results of the poll, but basically, there were rumors that implicated that he just did this poll to see how many bots were on Twitter. So no one really knows for sure if he's actually going to step down. But if he had to step down, then Dogecoin would actually obviously fall because Elon Musk is a massive catalyst towards Dogecoin's prices. So need to watch out for this, see what happens here. If he does step down, I don't think he will, but there is a possibility of him, stepping down. And then looking at the fear and greed index, so I was looking at this. I mean, we're starting to come back down into the 20 levels. We got up to the 30 last week, and yesterday was 29, and then actually today is 26. So it's not looking too great. A lot of people getting fearful again. And that's also due to what happened here. Bank of Japan shocks the markets by raising the benchmark rate to 0.5 from 0.25, and basically they've been having they basically had zero interest rates for 6 years, and they haven't changed these rates because of how they operate in their country, and this was obviously they had to increase this rate because obviously with inflation and everything that's been happening. So it says over here they improve the market function, encourage a smoother formation of the entire yield curve while maintaining accommodative financial conditions. And basically they had to do this because of what's happening with inflation and pretty much all the interest rate hikes, and it's not getting better. So they just going to be falling back if they don't rise the rates. So basically they've had this quantitative easing for 6 years, and this year they had to change it because of how bad this year has actually been. So this was very interesting, and obviously this was a lot of people were saying we had that pump the other day. So when looking at Bitcoin over here, we had that run up. So we're looking here, I was over here, we had that run up over here. It was yesterday, sorry, and that was apparently due to the Bank of Japan. So a lot of people now in Japan putting their money into crypto. but that also just could be a coincidence. But it's quite interesting, how this obviously had a massive effect. So yeah, Bitcoin gains 2%, stocks drop as Bank of Japan allows benchmark bond yields to rise. So this was just interesting, a nice fact to look at. And then looking at, so here, Bitcoin miner Core Scientific is filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. So this is basically, it's the largest publicly traded crypto mining company in the US. And obviously what they're saying here is, due to energy prices and prices of crypto being, it says the process requires expensive equipment, some technicals, know-how, and a lot of electricity. So obviously, with crypto being so low, and then energy, the cost of electricity being so high, they just couldn't sustain their company. And this is massive because this company is very big in terms of crypto mining. But they did say here that they will carry on mining, but it's not good, and that's also another bankruptcy for crypto this year. So that is not good, because there's been a lot of that, and that also could drive the price of crypto down with all the other catalysts with not raising interest rates. I mean, raising interest rates by 5% and all of that. And then looking over here, so Nigeria lawmakers set to pass law that diminishes central bank influence on crypto. So this is quite good. So basically, they expected to pass a bill that will seek the right for cryptocurrency as a capital investment, which is very good, as Nigeria is one of Africa's most traded crypto hubs in Africa. And especially with Nigerians' currency being so bad, they kind of need something in order for people to put their money into as not a safe haven asset. I don't want to go as far as saying that, but as a store of value. So this was quite big for the African market. So I mean, the adoption is there. I mean, this whole year, I'm gonna go over a few Twitter threads that I want to show you. That, I mean, the adoption is carrying on even in a bear market. There's so many more people investing in crypto. A lot more wallet addresses have been opened. So in a bear market, there's still so many people investing. So it's not like crypto is going anywhere. It's just been a really bad year, and it can continue until the US and all the other countries start to lower inflation and interest rates, and the economies start to get back to normal. But that was quite interesting. And then looking over here for today's news, we have consumer confidence. That is at 5 p.m. South African time. So this will obviously have an impact on the crypto prices. So if it's greater than 101 in the forecast, then crypto should decrease a little bit because the dollar will increase, and that's it's inversely proportional. So we need to watch out for this number at 5 p.m. Suggest not trading during these times, as you can never know which way it's going to go. So just make sure when you're trading, you have all your positions closed and everything set up. Yeah, and then I want to go over a few Twitter threads. So over here, this just shows you, the realized loss. I've gone over this before, but it's just very interesting. So it says this reflects the relative capital loss, 47% of the bull market gains, similar to the scale in 2018. So you can see here, minus 213 billion losses at the moment within this bear run. So it's it's very hard to fathom that, but it just shows you that with more people buying into crypto and we're still getting these such big losses, it just shows you that we are currently, the adoption is there, but the ratio is quite similar in terms of 117 to 56, and then it's almost half if you had to look at it like that. So it looks very similar, and this bear run is almost over. I don't know when, but I just think that once we break certain levels, then we can look at and then looking at this. So this shows you your unrealized loss. a 7-day moving average with sparking giving pain to late investors. So the last cycle was slightly stronger, meaning you can see a few months of market pain before reversal. So you can see over here that whenever the realized losses are like this, unrealized loss is like this, then it kind of implicates that we're going to get a turn, because you can see every time we've had a massive realized loss, like in the past, in the 2018 and the 2014, 2015, we started the beginning of that bull run. So there's a lot of indicators saying that we might get that bull run quite soon, but there is still a lot more downside that I believe that we can get. There's going to be a lot of clean outs happening, I think. Then looking over here, so this is what I was saying. So today, actually, the Ethereum total value in ETH 2.0 deposited contract reaches all-time high. So you can just see prices going down this whole year, and what is happening. We are actually getting more people investing in Ethereum. So you can see it's hit a 16 million Ether, the value in terms of addresses. So that's just crazy. This graph has just been going up exponentially. It shows you the adoption isn't going away. So I mean, if you're a long-term holder of crypto, then you don't have to worry, because 5 years to 10 years time you'll be fine. But like if you have to think about it in 5 to 10 years. You can't think about it in the next year. Oh, I want to make certain, I want to make X. You have to be looking at a larger time frame, because I can show you now when looking at let's just go in the monthly time frame. I mean, looking at this chart here, I need to go on the USD one. This just shows you, so let me just hide all of this. We are still like very, very capable of going up. So you can see over here that we are still in this uptrend on the monthly. So you just need to look at it from a higher time frame perspective. And this happens in trading. Price comes back down to certain levels before we get a push up. And obviously at the top here we had a double top, where price rejected over here and then got rejected over here, so we came down. So price can come down to these zones over here, that 13,000, 12,000 zone, before we get that push up. So just if you want to zoom out and have a look at it from a higher time frame, it does give you a perspective of we still got a long way. Price can still easily come up, break these highs and come up to 100,000. But you have to look at the that 2025, 2028 kind of time frame. And then looking over here, Bitcoin number of addresses also reached the all-time high. So like I said earlier, the adoption is just getting bigger and bigger. You can see that's holding 0.1 plus coins. So a lot of people are just accumulating Bitcoin in this times, which is not a bad thing. I mean, no one can predict the bottom, and no one will. But when you dollar cost average at these prices, you can't really go wrong. So just that's how you kind of have to think about it. And then also, yeah, so this is what I was saying. When looking at this is from the beginning of time to now. So you're looking at Shiba, it's still 280,000% up. Cardano 1,300% up. Matic 26,000% up. 940% up. Solana, Doge is 16,000% up. Ethereum is 44,000% up. Bitcoin is 16,000% up. Link 4.2,000. XRP 6.4,000, and then BNB 251,000. So I mean, if this doesn't show you that we are still currently fine for in terms of the long run, then I don't know what I can say. But basically this just gives you an implication of how far these coins have come in this, and it's just a bear market. So what happens in a bear market? We get that push down. So that's just interesting to see. It was very nice to see that, because it just shows you that in the next 5 to 10 years this could be double what it is now. But yeah, I mean, Bitcoin and crypto typically does their bear markets 4-year cycles. So we need to wait for that Bitcoin halving to happen and see what happens after that. But yeah, that's pretty much all from my side. Anyone have any questions or any graphs that you would want me to go over, and I can definitely do that for you guys. Going to happen and see what happens after. That's pretty much. Yeah, if no one has any questions, then yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. Yeah, just make sure if you're dollar cost averaging, you know, it's never a good time to wait for the exact bottom. You know, I'm saying that it could be around about these areas, around about this 14 to 11k zone. But I mean, if you're dollar cost averaging, then you know you don't have to predict the exact bottom. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate your time, and please like and subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you guys on Friday.